Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a full working demo of a drop-down manager that we have built. Now before going through with the little details and all the features, I'd like to first give you an overview of the solution and what are the benefits that it can bring to you. Now drop-down lists often go out of date. Updating one drop-down is fine, but what if you have to apply the same changes in 10 different sheets? Now doing so manually is extremely tedious and is also prone to errors. So with a drop-down manager that we've built, all you need to do is fill in simple information such as the information on the source sheet and also the destination sheet, set up a sync schedule, and let the automation take care of the rest of it. Now, with a drop-down manager like this, all you need is a single list, which will represent your source of truth, and that would then be applied to all your working sheets. Now, without further ado, let me show you how this works in practice using a real working example. Okay, so picture this. I'm a project manager and I've just created a project tracker with tasks already laid out over here, and I like to start assigning people to these tasks. Now, if I open the assign to column over here, we can see that there has already been a contact that's been added into this dropdown, and that's because it's a specialized contractor that has been brought in to work on this specific project. Another contact, which is also an external contractor, the contact has been pasted in the assign to column, but it doesn't actually make up the drop-down list. Now, what I want to do is, before assigning people to these tasks, I actually need a list of people that are approved to work on this project. So what I want to do is to import a list of contacts that have been approved to work on projects like this into this drop-down column over here. And at the same time, I would also like to add Penny's contacts into the drop-down because it's not inside yet. And together with that, I also like this contractor's details to be preserved after the import and the sync. So let's see how our drop-down manager can help with that. Right now, in order to set up a sync, we'll need to submit a form. Now, let's start with defining where the data will be taken from the source sheet. Let's look at the source data that we'll be working with. What I want is to extract a list of contacts that have been approved and are permanent workers. Now, therefore, we need to apply an additional filter, and therefore we'll need to use a report for this. So let's go ahead and select report. Now, the source ID is simply the ID of the report, and you can find that by right-clicking on the report, going to properties, and then there you can copy the ID of the report and then just paste it in here. Now, the source column will simply be contact, as you can see in the report. Alright, so next up we have the option to apply additional filters in the form of regex, and it's mostly reserved for more advanced users. However, for those who haven't heard of regex before, it's basically a smart text matching rule that allows you to filter information based on patterns and not exact words. So take this example of the contacts. We already have a list of contacts that are approved and are permanent workers, but I like to apply additional filters to it such that it only extracts contacts with the email domain at bpt.com. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this filter in here, and what it would then do is check every single contact and try to match the pattern that I have over here to the context, and if it is able to match the pattern, it will extract the information, and if it isn't able to match the pattern, it will not extract it. So I know this filter can look a bit daunting for people who haven't used it before, but let me assure you that with large language model tools these days like ChatGPT, you can simply type in the desired filter that you want, and ChatGPT will normally come up with a regex filter that is accurate. In addition to that, you can also test these filters in regex playgrounds out there, and just see if it works before actually putting it in here in this drop-down manager. Next, let's move on to the destination sheet. In this case, the target or destination sheet will be the project tracker that I've just shown you earlier. And likewise, we will get the sheet ID by accessing it from the properties tab, and the target column will simply be assigned to, as we've seen earlier. Now, we have the option to sort the data alphabetically, so that sorts it according to the alphabet order of the names. And remember earlier I mentioned I want Penny's data or Penny's contact details to also be appended to the drop-down list. So in this case, we will tick it, and we also want existing contacts, which is the contractor that I've added into the drop-down list, to be preserved after the sync. So I'm going to go ahead and keep existing drop-down options. Tick that as well. Now, Right. So as you can imagine, people come and go, and so the source list would probably change over time. And so in order to ensure that we always have an up-to-date list of people in the assigned to column, we can set the schedule to run every single day, for example, and at first thing in the morning at 8 a.m. And what that ensures is that we'll always have an up-to-date list of people, so you never assign someone that is not actually there anymore. Okay, so although we have already specified the sync schedule, we also have the option to click this box over here, which would allow the sync to run immediately. Now, for the purpose of the demo, I'd like to show you the sync running in real time, so I'm going to click this checkbox over here, and we're going to hit submit. Alright, now that we've submitted a sync request, let me open the Dropdown Manager to show you where all the syncs are being managed. To initiate the sync, when we submitted the form, this box is automatically ticked and the status switches to initializing. This sends a trigger to our external automation system called make.com. When the request is received by the external system, the status will change to running, and it will process the request and update the dropdown according to the desired configuration. Now, when the sync is complete, the status is then set back to ready, so you know that the sync has already been applied. Now, and if there is an error, the message will be documented in the role comments. As you can see from another sync over here, the status is an error, and if we look at the comments, we can see that there was a server outage the last time this sync tried to run. So if this happened in practice, all we need to do is hit this checkbox and hit save, and the automation would then try to rerun the sync, and hopefully it should all be in order this time. Now, in addition to giving you an overview of all the syncs that are currently active, this drop-down manager sheet also gives you the ability to modify the different sync options moving forward. So say if your requirements change moving forward, you don't need to submit a new sync. All you need to do is to come in here and change the different fields in here to suit your new requirements. As part of the sync, the source ID and the target sheet IDs have also been converted into hyperlinks for quick access. So let's click this hyperlink over here, which is our target sheet, which also is our project tracker, and let's open the assigned to column and see the changes that have been applied with the sync. As you can see, we have now a list of contacts sorted by alphabetical order, and you have also noticed that the sync only brought in contacts with the email domain ending at bpt.com from the report. And you have also noticed that Lucas Grant over here, our first contractor, which makes part of the original drop-down list, has also been preserved after the sync. Now, if we look at Penny's contact details, which didn't make up part of the original list, her contacts have also been appended to this drop-down list. So with this sync running every day, me, as a project manager, I can now be assured that I will only have the most up-to-date contacts coming in every day into the sheet. This is just one of the many use cases. In reality, this drop-down manager works for any types of lists, not just for contacts. It can also be applied to a drop-down in a form. So for example, if I had a rate log for this project, I can establish a sync between all the tasks in the project tracker and the rate log itself, so that when a new task gets added, it will automatically show up as a selectable option when someone is creating a record in the rate log. Another use case could be a project initiation form, which references a list of onboarded customers from another source. My name is Elvin from Blue Precision Technologies. We're a solution partner of Smartsheet, and if you'd like to see this implemented in your workflows, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.